Jaguars offensive lineman Cooper Hodges spoke today with Mia O'Brien about taking snaps at tackle and center in the Jaguars offseason program.
It was a new thing to me at first, but now I've kind of grown into it, and it feels normal now. So it was literally probably like the first week of Phase 3 or OTAs, the real OTAs. He's like, all right, today you're going to be getting some center Cooper. I was like, okay. The tackle, I was like, hey, get in where you fit in,
right.
So I ain't mad at it.
Had you ever snapped a ball before?
I've never snapped a ball in a game. I've snapped in practice. I've done that loads of times and stuff. So I have some experience, just not game experience with that.
Cooper Hodges with Mia O'Brien. It's 89 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time, that's the name.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I would clean that bone about as good as anything.
Matt Hayes.
The guys they had last year, terrible.
And Leon Searcy.
Mama know that when you get to camp, you ain't gonna see a lot of Big Daddy.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Oh, Big Daddy's here, though, and we are ready to rock and roll. XL Primetime on the road, and happy to be invited back. We were at Lifetime Flooring right around Mother's Day. We were here I believe it was the Wednesday before Mother's Day, and they've asked us back. Matt and Leon, are you a little shocked by that they actually wanted us to come back? We had a great time in the Lifetime Flooring department. Now we're in the Lifetime Enclosures, so both locations are real easy to find on Phillips Highway. Just a little, south of Bay Meadows, north of Sunbeam. And if you're heading north, you'll see Lifetime Flooring and Lifetime Enclosures on the left side. And Big Sirs, we have got Sam Hunt tickets to give away. Concert late July at Daly's Place. Is that right? Daly's Place. And you can come on by and you can register for Pops. For
you
the
heard
old
Sam
band.
Hunt song, Big Sir?
No, I was going to ask you, what genre is that?
Country.
And you know what it is?
It's new country.
Yeah, there you go. It's that young country.
Right.
And he even his own version of rapping, which if you heard his rap, you'd laugh. Okay,
Country rap?
It's no excuse.
No, it's like he's talking.
He's
is what he
talking.
does.
That's all
he's
doing.
talking fast.
He just talks.
He's just talking.
And then he'll sing a verse, and then he'll talk, and then he'll sing a verse.
RJ,
Nice.
find some Sam Hunt that you can come back with a little bit later on, and familiarize Big Source with it. But he's one of those way back in the day when my dad would make me watch Hee Haw because there were only 3 channels. You had Whisperin' Bill Anderson, and he would just talk his way through a song. And I thought I might be a country music star if I could just talk my way through a song.
Right.
That's kind of what Sam Hunt does.
Okay.
And he'll get it going every once in a while. But his one really good song is My Baby's a Back Road. I think you'll appreciate that. Okay, that one we'll play for you a little bit later on. But you got a chance to win Sam Hunt tickets, and you can come on by and check out what Lifetime Enclosures does for you. We always give the drill credit, Jeff and Dan, because they're here more often than we are. But you know the drill when we refer to that show. Look around. You got Lifetime Enclosures where you can spend a lifetime outside of the main part of your house, right? And just chill. Close it in. Enjoy the sunshine. Enjoy that outside view, but without that hot heat.
Yeah.
Look, there's a reason they brought us back, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to say like we're encroaching on the drill's turf, but
Yeah.
they like us. That's all I'm saying is they like us.
All right, so all you got to do is drop on by, and what they have today is you can register for the Sam Hunt concert tickets, but they also have all sorts of things that you can enjoy, take advantage of as you get ready for Father's Day, and they'll have it all set up for you for Father's Day. We'll be telling you all about it, but here's what you need to know. Up to $7,500 off of sunrooms, glass enclosures, so you can really take advantage of that. $5,000 off vinyl enclosures, $3,000 off screen enclosures and outdoor kitchens, and $1,500 off lanai conversions, which means they can redo whatever you got. So make sure you drop on by, say hey to us, or do it over Father's Day weekend. We'd love to see you this afternoon until 4 o'clock, that's for sure. So let's wrap up OTAs. This is the last day of Jaguars OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Actually, minicamp wraps up today, and they're gonna try and kick the guys out and say go do something else. But there still will be plenty of them that will hang out at the facility and keep preparing, especially the youngsters. But I want to get into, Leon, what we have learned about this football team during this offseason. How much has our mind changed about what we thought of them at the end of last year, which was what? Not a very physical.
Not very physical up front, yeah.
How much has our mind changed?
I think a little bit. I think the most impressive thing that I saw during OTAs and minicamps is that defensive front. The defensive front, I think, is going to make some noise this year. They're big. They're bigger bodies. They're more athletic. They're competitive. The rotation between the guys, especially interiorly, you're going to have a nice little rotation of guys. You're going to have a nice little assortment of youth in there, guys who are anxious and hungry and want to get after it. And then you got the veteran presence like a Eric Armstead, who's going to be surmountable inside interiorly, helping with stopping the run and helping getting after the passer. So that's the thing that I came out of watching camp. Watching camp was how big that defensive, how big that they got interiorly on that defensive line, because last year in a lot of games that defensive front got swallowed up, gave up a lot of yards, not only running the ball, but the inability to get to the pass rusher. You had your bookends who surmounted 27.5 sacks, but then the rest of the team only had like 13. So that was more impressive to me.
It's amazing to me that those two guys had 27.5 sacks, and they felt like the most quiet 27.5 sacks.
Yeah. Because less than a baker's dozen from the rest of that bunch.
It's just, I mean, they've got to get help. They have to, whether it's Gibson, whether it's Lloyd off the edge, whether it's blitzing safeties, whether it's blitzing corner. They need more pressure on the quarterback, and I think that Ryan Nielsen, the idea is it's going to be a man-type defense where they're going to let the corners do their work on their own. They're going to bring some exotic stuff. So let's see it. Let's see some pressure.
But I agree with what Big Sur says, and we can throw these out there. You guys can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 and let us know the things you think you know now based on what you've seen, heard, read, whatever, for this football team. And it's really easy. Just hit us with some of the ones that you got. But I am in the camp that the interior part of the defensive line, for that matter, the interior parts of both lines of scrimmage are improved. They're improved. That's what I'm believing. I think I know that. I'm not sure I know that. And it's because of what's happened with
I'm going to hold out on the O-line. I'm going to wait
which is fine. Again, like we said, we never – I hope we never agree on everything. and so but there's no question in my mind that the two biggest things that need to change, and the things I think I know, are can they get a 3rd and 1 and can they stop a 3rd and 1?
Yeah.
And I think they've improved on both of those.
Yeah, it's all converting 3rd downs and stopping 3rd downs. That's what football is. Yeah. It's that and turnovers.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's well, look, I'm going to reserve on the offensive line. That's a better way to say it. Because I think maybe Mitch Morse will help. Maybe Ezra Cleveland, maybe all these guys together, like they said, is going to be a different situation. So I'm just going to reserve a little bit because my eyes have shown me different. Okay.
Well, here's the thing: is ultimately it's kind of sad that the fact that we're talking about the offensive line inability to convert on 3rd and 1, because all that comes down to toughness.
Yeah,
it really is, because you're basically saying to the guy across from you that I'm better than you. That if I whoop you, we win. And I'm telling you, the offensive line, when it comes, listen, you don't know how many times
there was a lot of whooping going on.
I know,
last year.
but you don't know how many times
I've
been in the huddle. I've been in the huddle with the Steelers and the Jaguars, and the guys collectively say, "Hey, listen, let's get this down first. Let's get this yard.
Yep.
There's nothing they can do to keep us from getting this yard." And I don't think that those kind of conversations are being said or being held in that huddle, which is
it's
sad.
not we need a yard. It's we're getting
this yard. It's not that we need it. It's that we're getting this yard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows that moving the change is essential to any drive. It's a drive stopper when you're 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, you can't get a 1st down, and you have to punt. And it's demoralizing to an offensive line.
Or you're coming in with 10 personnel. And
exactly. You're in 10 personnel. And
jet sweep on a 3rd.
Exactly. That kind of stuff, bro. Come on now. So, ultimately, it's sad that we're having this conversation about grown men.
Think about that. If you're an offensive line on the Jags and the play call comes in and that personnel and the play call is jet sweep, they're literally insulting you is what they're doing.
Absolutely. And it's sad that we're having this conversation.
And by the way, they've done it. They've done it a lot of different ways. It could be the jet sweep. It could be the bubble screen. It could be
anything like that.
Anything that is that. And basically, what we have all. This is one thing I think we all do agree on is they got whipped up front. And that's the last thing you want to be known for is getting whipped up front. That you got dominated, that you got handled, that you got worked. And so there's no question that Doug Peterson had to look them all in the eye and say we need to become tougher. We need to become a more physical, can count on a 1-yard play from our line and from our running back.
Yeah, because when you call those kind of plays, those jet sweeps and those bubble screens, you're trying to finesse a play. I don't need finesse on 3rd and 1. I need brutes.
But don't the offensive linemen go back to the sideline and say, what are we doing, man? Run the ball.
Do they? That's the question.
Matt,
do they do that?
Yeah,
no, that's what I'm saying. So, like, aren't you insulted enough to where you're like, all right, you're insulting me. Let's go get that yard.
All right, hang on. They were given a chance on 3rd and 1 and didn't win the battle and went for it on 4th and 1 and tried to cue it up. Okay, so let's not forget that. They got beaten up.
Yeah, but don't you respond as a football player when someone comes in 10 personnel and runs a jet sweep like that?
Sometimes you got what you got.
Yeah, I mean, and
I think that's what they realized.
That's the coordinator.
Or on the sideline, you're going, I can't block him, man.
That's the coordinator recognizes his personnel really isn't that tough. And when you go for it on 3rd and 1 and lose a yard, and then the coordinator's like, we're not tough enough up front. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
Yeah.
The coordinator gives you opportunities.
That's hard truth, man.
Yeah. He gives you opportunities.
And by the way, you could sit there on the sidelines. I love the play that old school NFL. I have to go back and look at the X, whatever the Twitter handle was on X, that showed the play where Tony Baselli had basically worn down Jason Taylor to the point where he said, hey, follow us down here. We're about to kick our extra point. And Leon is shown right at the end running with Big Sirs, also looking at Jason Taylor like, we whipped your A. We whipped your A. Mm-hmm. And
right, but given that fact,
how many times has this offensive line looked at anybody with any level of intimidation?
Okay, and I agree with everything you're saying, okay? So given all of that, your only addition in the offseason is Mitch Morse.
No, I get it. And that could be a major, major mistake. It really could be.
I feel like it's deja vu with last year with pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's the other pass rusher?
Mm-hmm.
You lose the man who built the Buckman Bridge, and you don't replace him with anyone.
Yeah, and that's bad. That's bad. All right, so these are things we think we know. We are not sure. That's one of the biggest ones. Both lines of scrimmage, and we're a little divided here when it comes to did they do enough to make themselves better, get a 3rd and 1, stop a 3rd and 1. I definitely think they got better on the stop the 3rd and 1 department. It's just a matter of –
I would agree with that.
Yeah, but I also believe that from the play calling part of this, Doug Peterson has made it known. He's made it clear. He wants to be a better running football team. And based on what we've seen, OTAs and minicamps, they are committing to the run more than I think we have seen in years past. They do not want to be known as a finesse. They want to be known not necessarily as a power team, but when you got to get it, you got it.
Yeah. Well, the only way you're going to be able to do that, Joe, is in practice. I mean, back in our day, I talk about this though. If we had trouble running the ball, there was drills that were assessed in practice that we had to run to remind us that we're going to run the football. We had the sled, 2-man, 2-man, 5-man sled. We had the chutes. All right, we had inside run. We had middle drill. We had blitz drill. I mean, all those type of things were assessed in practice to remind us that we're going to run the football. Now, because of the collective bargaining agreement, with the cutting practices, timing practices, inability to hit in practice, only way you can assess toughness or running the ball is through tempo.
Let me just say this to you, okay?
Yeah.
Here's a headline from the Dallas Morning News, okay?
Yeah.
Here's how Cooper Beebe could save the Cowboys' 2024 season.
Right.
A guard.
I've never seen one guy more in love with guards than Matt Hayes. Okay, I know he's in love with quarterbacks.
I'm in love with protecting the quarterback and running the football.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. But you're gonna, like I said, I don't want to root against Cooper Beebe, but I might be driven.
I'm just saying
there,
Cooper
almost.
Beebe. It could be any of those guys. It could be JPJ.
Remember,
it could be any of those guys. My point was, you needed work. You needed to get better at guard.
Yeah.
And you didn't. That's kind of my point.
You and I were texting back and forth. Both him and Christian Mahogany, draft day, is another guy that he was way down the draft.
How about JPJ? Could have played guard until Morse was done, then you moved him to center.
Okay, then you got no Brian Thomas. You got no answer for Calvin Ridley, and they needed to answer that.
All right, you picked that up in the second round.
Maybe, and believe me, there's enough guys for us to keep our eye on, like the McMillan kid out of Washington, the kid out of out of Oregon that I definitely will keep my eye on.
Look, it was a philosophical decision by them, is what it was.
He didn't go
They believed they needed to get speed on the outside and a threat on the outside more than they needed to protect on the interior.
Yeah, they
thought they could get away with what they had on the interior, and we'll see. I mean, that's their decision. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see if it plays out.
Yeah, and so really, those are the decisions that they made that will either come back to haunt them, or they'll look like, because it is a speed game, and you've got to get defenders off the line of scrimmage in today's NFL, and that's why they had to go get Brian Thomas.
Would you say their decision last year of not adding another pass rusher came back to haunt them?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you basically had, like we said, less than a baker's dozen in the sack department from your entire team, not counting 44 and 41. That's awful. It's inexcusable.
Right.
And so that's either, well, it's both, isn't it? Scheme and effort, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we were depending on guys who, quite frankly, weren't healthy. I mean, we thought Smoot coming back will give them a little juice. He didn't. He was a shell of himself.
Yeah.
You know.
You thought a rookie, fifth rounder from Louisville.
Yeah, that part. He's undersized. I mean, he would get swallowed up, especially at the 5. And if you put him at a 7, he can't get around the corner with those big linemen. So
yeah,
that's what we had to deal with.
Yeah, and so, all right, a couple of other things that you think you know now after minicamps, OTAs, and I'll just use that decision that they went for, is that they lost Calvin Ridley in a $50 million poker game with the Tennessee Titans. Calvin ends up with a big old smile and a different Ville. He's all stoked, but this team had to replace losing him. And so that's why they needed to do what they did in the first round. And I agree. Troy Franklin and McMillan and a lot of these other guys I'll have my eye on, but they wanted to make sure they got a legit size and speed weapon that will take defenders off of that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but ultimately, what are we expecting from him? I mean, are we expecting the same productivity from Calvin Ridley?
No, I feel like
Brian Thomas.
Yeah, that'd be wishing.
Yeah, that'd be wishing.
Why wouldn't you be?
Well, I just think that I don't know what to expect from a rookie. And you can hope for it. I just don't know what we should expect it.
I mean, if the idea was your choice was to go with receiver, go with another weapon on offense, or strengthen your interior, and you decide to go receiver, you better hope he's a guy that gets you 65, 70 catches and gets you 8, 10, 12 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. I'm distinguishing hope.
Well, that would be replacing Ridley.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is hope, because it's the exact same thing as hoping that JPJ or whomever you drafted interiorly would be able to get the job done. You don't know.
You don't know. But my point is he's got to get that. That's his bar. His bar is 65 catches, 900 yards, 1,000 yards, 8, 9 touchdowns. It has to be.
Right.
Does it not?
Right. Yeah.
If he comes up with a 40-catch season and he has 4 touchdowns, what are you going to say?
Oh, yeah, disappointment.
Yeah.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't know how high to reach. 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. It seems like anything you get over 50 yards and 5 scores, I think, from a rookie is a bonus. I really do. Now, this last year –
50 yards a game, you mean?
Yeah. I just think this last year of rookies that came into the league, there were a bunch of wide receivers that made a hell of a lot of good plays for their teams. They really, really were. And it just speaks volumes to just the evolution of talent that's coming in because of the 7-on-7.
Yeah, it's the evolution of offense, too.
Yeah,
it's like
everything.
These guys now come in and play immediately and have big seasons immediately.
Right. And so there's nothing wrong with putting expectations on Brian Thomas Jr. I'm just trying to figure out where that number is at,
right,
where you go, wait a minute. That was a waste of a first-round pick. I just think you got to come up with some kind of number. Like we're talking about 48 sacks, 48 catches. Is that
well?
reasonable?
I mean, we shared the same expectation for Trayvon Walker when he came in. He was number 1 pick overall. And what was his rookie year? How many sacks he had his rookie year?
I think
4.5 or something like that.
3.5 or 4. Yeah, he was a huge disappointment.
Yeah, he was absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, Brian Thomas. Okay, let me ask you this question: Brian Thomas gives you 60, 806. How you feeling?
I'm not happy about it, but
I'm
okay.
feeling okay with that.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right.
I'm feeling okay with that.
All right.
It's because we're sitting here like I'm going to play a soundbite from Brian Callahan.
Because 60 and 600 yards is 10 a catch, bro. I'm not happy.
He went 800 yards.
800 yards.
Yeah. 800 yards, so you're at a dozen or
13
yards per catch, something
yards.
like that.
Okay.
And then a half dozen.
I would expect a little bit more out of LSU.
Yeah,
because of that track record.
actually, it's not even really
They gotta
LSU.
get-
What it is, I expect more now from that position if you're picking that position that high, because the way football has evolved now and the way the offense, the rules favor the offense. I expect that position. If you're picked that high, you are going to produce immediately.
He's going to have on training wheels, bro. You got Gabe Davis, you got Christian Kirk coming back, and you got Evan Ingram.
Jefferson had training wheels on. Chase had training wheels on.
Listen,
those are rare cats. Okay, we are going to find out if BTJ can be that. But
But we see them every year now. Every year we see a quote unquote rare cat.
That's true.
Yeah, if we go, but the other point I wanted to make is remember when we were looking back at the production of second contract guys in the first round and how low the wide receiver position was. And it's not the only indicator or the true indicator, but there weren't a lot of wide receivers that were drafted first round that got
No, but that was also
second.
skewed from like the first 6 years of that 10-year run, because the last 4 years of that 10-year run, you had wide receiver after wide receiver after wide receiver coming in and making big time impact.
Well, also you also got to implement the trust factor as far as Trevor goes. I mean, he's dropping a couple of balls here and there. I mean, you know who Trevor's favorite is. You know, the guys that are more reliable. So I mean, he's got to be reliable from the jump in order to get the kind of balls we're talking about getting them.
Trevor's favorite's going to be the guy who catches the ball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
At this point, if you're Trevor, it's the guy who catches the ball, man.
And I feel like that was as important a decision as anything. Trevor Lawrence says, you know what? If I feel like this front can be healthy and I can be healthy, I need that take it down the field weapon. So Trevor probably asked for it as much as anybody. I don't know. That's just a guess. But you're trying to figure out what he needed more. Guys up front giving him an extra second of time, or a guy that can get 10 more yards down the field within that second.
See, I look at it like if I'm the quarterback, I'm thinking, just protect me, and I'll make that guy a good receiver. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I look at it. But look, it's just me. I'm not the guy playing quarterback, and I'm not the guy coaching him.
Right.
But I don't know, Leon. Like, what are your thoughts? It's like I would think, as long as I got time.
Yeah.
And I have the talent, the arm talent that Trevor Lawrence has,
But honestly,
I'll figure it out.
But honestly, if they brought Trevor into the war room doing draft day and asked him what kind of toy do you want,
He's going to want a receiver.
Yeah,
of
that
course.
part right there. We're the last toy you want. Yeah.
But you're the most important
toy. Exactly.
Right, but think about it. We talk about the teams that made it the deepest. They had the best offensive lines by and large, at least 3 of the 4 that were in the Final Four. But then you also think of the playmakers, and if Burrow doesn't have Chase, who is Kirk Cousins made Justin Jefferson, but Justin Jefferson also probably made Kirk Cousins a hell of a lot of money here recently.
You could also say if Mahomes doesn't have Rashee Rice, who is he?
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Well, he's special, okay?
Yeah, Mahomes is a whole nother tier.
Yeah, let's not he had Kelsey, okay? Let's not forget that either. All right, so we got plenty to get into today. You can log on, go to YouTube, search 1010XL, and you can find us on the stream, XL Primetime. We're right inside of one of the Lifetime Enclosures setups. So when you walk in, it's kind of like you're in the beautiful area outside of the main part of your house. So you can come on in, you can check out everything that they've got. They've got the Father's Day celebration, which is going to be cool because you're going to be able to come here and check everything out. You're going to be able to take advantage of discounts. That will come up this weekend, and they've got plenty of giveaways. Matter of fact, you stop by before 4, you register for the Sam Hunt tickets to go see him in concert at Daly's Place. They got little giveaways for you as well. So drop on by and say, hey, Lifetime Enclosures XL Primetime, Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, Casey hanging out with us, and RJ back at headquarters.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I want more money.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
I'm sorry, I can't understand a word that you're saying.
Mornings
Denied.
on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer is here on the First Coast. Long days, short sleeves, lazy summer afternoons, and those soaring temperatures that can do a number on your AC. But do what I did and plan ahead with an expert AC tune-up from Fenwick Home Services to avoid those costly summer breakdowns. Look, if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Hope is not a plan. That's why Fenwick Home Services has you covered with same-day service, including high-maintenance plans, free same-day estimates, and guaranteed repairs. Expert technicians you can trust will keep you and your family cool and comfortable all season long and help you breathe easier and avoid costly breakdowns. Call day or night, 24/7, and Fenwick certified technicians will get the job done right the first time. Book your expert tune-up today and avoid costly breakdowns tomorrow. Plan ahead instead of hoping for the best. Online at FenwickHomeservices.com. That's FenwickHomeservices.com.
Hacker here, and I just got back from a cruise to the Caribbean, and it was incredible. I actually saw a few folks from Jacksonville who recognized me, and did they want to talk sports? Nope. They complimented my weight and how I look so different after dropping 65 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss. I even had strangers that overheard some of those conversations that started asking me about Awaken 180. I took some fantastic pictures with my family that I would have otherwise avoided because of my weight. If you're overweight, you know what I mean. I knew I was going to go off the program for a bit because, hey, I deserved it. But my Awaken 180 coach had my back. She showed me how to take a break for 9 days and not put all the weight back on. It was easy. I ate all sorts of food, but the difference? I didn't keep going back for seconds and thirds. My body didn't need it. The kicker? I didn't gain a single pound because my metabolism is on fire. If you want a program that works and coaches that understand, do what we all did and go to Awaken180weightloss.com.
Folks, the First Coast has voted. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to be chosen as Bold City's best in 4 categories: Best Orthopedic Practice, Physical Therapy, Pain Management, and Foot Care Clinic. For the last 30 years, JOI has continually strived for the highest level of orthopedic surgery and rehab care. As the needs of the community evolve, so will they. That's why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. Call them at JOI 2000 or visit JOI.net. JOI, where the pros go.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit BestBetJax.com to learn more. That's BestBetJax.com. And ante up for fun.
International soccer returns this summer. Don't miss Premier League clubs Wolves and West Ham in Jacksonville for the Stateside Cup, July 27th at Everbank Stadium. Tickets as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
What smelled funny but smells great? A Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. Kuhn Flowers. The name is synonymous with excellence for over 75 years. High Flying Jacko here for your next floral purchase. Call on Kuhn Flowers.
Are you looking for that perfect Father's Day gift? Look no further than Shooters this Thursday through Sunday, June 13th through the 16th. Shooters and Smith & Wesson are bringing you the largest Smith & Wesson sale of the year with the largest savings of the year. Click away with a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, very affordable, just $429. Save $70. The most popular small frame defense revolver on the market, the Airweight 38 Special, for only $469. Save $70. The hottest selling concealed carry pistol, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus 9mm, for only $399. You save $150. Get unmatched value with the new Smith & Wesson SD9 2.0 handgun for a low $279. Save $80. Shooters and Smith & Wesson Father's Day sale, the largest sale of the year, June 13th through the 16th at Shooters, 5085 University Boulevard West. See the full ad at shootersjacks.com. ShootersJacks.com.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
A tomahawk steak is more than a meal. It's an experience. Dads, we've got you covered at Southern Steer Butcher. Now through Father's Day, get your tomahawk steaks for $24.99 a pound.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Golf is as popular as it's ever been, and Hidden Hills welcomes all who love this game as much as we do. You'll surely enjoy our Arnold Palmer design, which is nestled in one of the highest elevations in North Florida. Book your tee time today, and you'll be glad you did.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality product. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
All right, crank it up a little, RJ, so Big Sirs can sample this for us, okay? Body like a back road.
Okay.
Okay?
Curvy.
Yeah, body like a back road from Sam Hunt.
Okay.
Curvy and bumpy.
And you don't need to go fast, okay? Every inch is a mile, basically, is what it says, reading the road map. So that's Sam Hunt. You can stop on by Lifetime
Leon's
Enclosures.
interest right
I
now.
can appreciate that.
Let me tell you something. You get the lyrics of that one.
The imagery is all so important.
That's my job, bro, as a writer.
I'm going to give you the lyrics to that one, and you'll probably go, you know what? If I could rap to that, I think I will like that. Anyway, it's a good song. I don't think I haven't played it for TLD more than once. That's for sure. But you've got Sam Hunt tickets that you can register here at Lifetime Enclosures. You got both buildings, Lifetime Flooring and Lifetime Enclosures, right here on Phillips Highway, heading towards Bay Meadows. You're on the left. If you're leaving Bay Meadows and heading south, you're on the right. We would love to see you. And if you don't make it today, okay, they've got their not grand opening, celebration for Father's Day this Saturday, 10 to 3 p. Food, drinks, discounts, special gifts for dads this Father's Day weekend. So stop on by either Lifetime Enclosures or Lifetime Flooring with those killer savings. $7,500 off sunrooms and glass enclosures. You definitely need to look into that. And many, many other things that they've got to offer here at Lifetime Enclosures. All right, so we spent our first seg talking about what we think we know. Do you have one more, or do you have what we don't know about this football team? I think we could all agree.
I think they're going to be much better in the secondary.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
really do.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, just with the idea, all things being equal, and they stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Savage looks good out there.
He does, and he looks like he is going to be plugged at that nickel position.
And I think Darby and Jones have a chance to. I mean, they have a very good chance to be much better in the secondary, as long as, again, everybody stays healthy, and as long as Antonio Johnson makes that second-year step, right?
Right.
And the two guys who have kind of missed time the last 2 years with injuries, Darby and Savage, stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and that is Darby is a big question mark. There's no doubt about that. Is that he has not. He's a little long in tooth too. He's a little long in tooth, and so you don't know how healthy he's going to be. Same thing with Mitch Morse. He's been healthy for the last couple of years, but before that he had.
I don't mind long in tooth as long as he can play.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not worried about that.
As far as me, you know what? I think the question mark, as far as leadership goes, I think that has been addressed, and I think the guys that were on the team want to address it. Just like when we had Devin Lloyd here. Devin Lloyd said that he even admitted to the fact that the leadership in the locker room wasn't as prevalent as it should have been, especially when they were going down. I don't know if he meant to say what he said, but he was basically saying, hey, then listen, while we were on that slippery slope, we couldn't find a way to stop from sliding. you know. And I think that he said he's going to take a bigger role. He's going to step up and say some stuff. And then the guys that they got in free agency, every guy that they got in free agency has had some kind of playoff experience, whether it be Green Bay, the Ravens, the 49ers, those type of guys. So those type of guys in the locker room can hopefully we're not in that kind of situation again, but I think we got enough leadership hopefully within the locker room to where we don't have to slide down that slippery slope that we went down last year.
Now, if Campo were here, he'd say, I guarantee the first thing he'd say, one of the first things is he thinks they're going to be coached better on defense. And there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said for a defensive staff that did all that draft work on Devin Lloyd and thought, yeah, let's have him drop in coverage. You saw what he was in college. You saw what kind of disruptor he was in college. It doesn't mean he can't drop in coverage, because he can. My point is, what he does best is disrupt plays. You got to let him go be active. Let him go be aggressive and attack. And I think that's what you're going to see. As much as anything, changes like that in coaching, little tweaks like that, you're going to see more of that. And you're going to see more using guys in their best position to help the team, including a guy like Antonio Johnson as well. Same thing.
Yeah. Antonio Johnson's a big-looking cat, and if Savage is more designed defensively to play that nickel, and so is Jarian Jones, and who knows exactly what they'll do with Greg Jr., then you've got Antonio Johnson to be a patroller in the back. So I agree with Matt just as far as there's going to be more competition. It's a deeper secondary. There's no question about that. And then I do think, minus Calvin Ridley, this could be a deeper wide receiver room. Okay, deeper. I don't know if they got all the talent. I don't know if they have all the touchdowns, but stay healthy, Christian Kirk, and make sure that Brian Thomas Jr. can do some of the things that you're drafting him to do. And then Devin Duvernay, he could be an extra guy. Parker Washington's
going to have a year this year.
We're going to hear from him coming up and get an idea of what you. He's a little unassuming.
He's like he and Kirk are probably the same player, but I'm telling you right now, man. Have you seen his legs, his thighs? He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He is not going to be easy to bring down.
Well, it looks like he's put a little good weight on him, kind of like what we were talking about with Devin Lloyd. How much did Devin Lloyd tell us?
He was 250,
10, 15 pounds?
Yeah, a good 10, 15 pounds,
of good muscle. And so that's what you're looking for, is these guys, Devin Lloyd going into a critical year, Parker Washington obviously going into his second year, and he's another got to stay healthy guy. And if they look, you need luck on your side.
Yeah.
You need to stay healthy.
Stay healthy, man.
Yeah. And hopefully it'll happen, but all those guys definitely have an opportunity. All right, let's speaking of staying healthy, let's say hello to Gio, Dr. George Barry. Since we're on the road here at Lifetime Enclosures, we will say hello to him by phone. If you've got questions, you can hit our phone number, 641-1010. Just text in a question on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, and Dr. George Barry will hit some of those sports injuries coming up. But that's where we are, right here on Phillips Highway. Sign up for Sam Hunt concert tickets. Make sure you take advantage of all the great ideas that they've got for Father's Day coming up this weekend, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Food, drinks, discounts, all happening here at Lifetime Enclosures.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Expect acceleration.
He's got him. Oh, they're ready to go.
Sunday at Iowa Speedway. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower. 1010XL.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sportsbook. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. At my house, we had a feast from Mayport CNC Fisheries with the freshest shrimp around, and it was unbelievable. They also have oysters, scallops, mahi, and so much more. Want to eat like a local? Head to the beach and visit my friends at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Duck Duck Rooter is the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, and we want to help you protect your septic system. Think about this. What would happen to your car if you never change the oil? Septic systems are no different and should be pumped at least every 3 years. Lack of maintenance is the #1 reason for septic system failure. Call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services today to schedule your pumping.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
If you want high quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. Waterboyjax.com.
This is Hayes Carlion for QC Kinetics. Are you not able to enjoy this summer as much as you want because of joint pain? Well, give my friends at QC Kinetics a call at 904-274-5522 for a free consultation. They're serving the Jacksonville area with locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move again, pain-free. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation, 904-274-5522 in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. That is QC Kinetics.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, a full staff of professionals that have been in this Jacksonville community for a long, long time, and they're ready to answer all those questions. And you know what it's like when you're making big decisions. Well, they can be pricey, but you also want to make sure that you get with the people that can take care of you and deliver on what you're paying for. So if you're thinking about a brand new home, a remodel, addition, you want to look around, it could be commercial or residential, you can trust Preferred Builders. Log on, preferredbuildersjacks.com, and don't forget, if you need a roof, you definitely need to check out preferredroofingjacks.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 12, 1991, in the NBA Finals, the Chicago Bulls beat the LA Lakers in Game 5 for their first of 3 straight titles.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to Cam Locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
American Electrical is looking for bright minds and hard workers to help light up North Florida. This community continues to grow, and now you can grow your career with a company that will make sure you succeed through commitment. American Electrical even has its own academy dedicated to training select students in the electrical trade, and the best news, it's free of charge. Log on to american-electrical.com to find out more. They're leading the way in electrical contractors on the First Coast. American-electrical.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, The Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
I kind of miss being at the studio, seeing Gio come rolling in, ready to go. But we have to get him by phone today because we are hanging out. Well, you know what? We're hanging out on I guess you could call this the back patio, but it's enclosed at Lifetime Enclosures, hanging out right here on Phillips Highway. So Gio
would love it here.
By phone.
It's a little bougie. He'd love it here.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's got some bougie in him. There's
And
no doubt about that, man.
Hey Gio, you got that pizza oven? You could put it in
it's just
a Lifetime
all you,
enclosure in the back of your house. You could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't even deny it. He's just like, yeah, I could. Yeah.
Yeah, he's bougie.
He's
And
all
look,
kind of bougie, man.
we haven't had a slice of pizza mastered by the chef, Dr. George Barr.
He's promised it, but you know.
One of these days it's going to happen. Gio, you doing good, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're hanging out. I'm sitting sofa side with Big Searcy. He makes me really look small. I could just tell you that. If you go on YouTube, you can check that out. That's for sure. But let's get to some sports injuries. If you do have one, 641-1010, you can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures and let us know what you've got. It could be an ache or a pain, and our free medical advice for the time that we have him. He can definitely try and help you. We've got a couple left over from last week that we want to get to. But let me get to this one. And this one's kind of detailed, Gio. I sent it to you, but this is what they're saying about Kristaps Porzingis. He comes out in game one, and he was, 5 weeks removed? Does that sound right? 5 weeks removed from the calf strain. He comes out. He's lights out, okay? He's
killing it.
7-2, knocking in threes, blocking shots on the break, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, comes in the second game, productive, and then gets hurt. So, Gio, it says a torn medial retinaculum, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon in his left leg, to which I say, as the radio doctor that I am, WTH is that. Huh?
Yeah, so it's retinaculum, right? So your peroneal tendons, which is on the outside, and your posterior tibialis tendon, which is on the inside, that sits behind that big knob that you have, which is your medial malleolus. It sits behind it, and it runs in a groove, and it's covered with a retinaculum. It's very rare to tear the retinaculum or the covering of the posterior tibialis tendon on the inside. Normally, if you tear a retinaculum, it's on the peroneal tendon on the outside of the ankle, the knob on the outside of your ankle that sits behind it. So this is the one on the inside, the posterior tibialis tendon, and he tore the retinaculum. Not very common. What the retinaculum does is it keeps that tendon in the groove so it doesn't dislocate and pop in and out. When that retinaculum gets torn, now you're at risk of that tendon popping back and forth over the bone, and it causes pain and it hurts, and then you need it fixed. So that's what he tore. It looks like they're not going to do surgery from last thing that I read. If you did do a surgery, you are out for a couple months, so that would end his finals appearance. They're obviously going to try to rest it and see if they can get him back in. I don't know if they gave a timeline or not, but that's
they
what
said
that
he's day-to-day, which is crazy.
Gio, I got to tell you, it sounds like Joe's injury is what it sounds like. It sounds a lot like Joe's injury.
Can I get a re-diagnosis from you, Gio?
I mean, the good thing is this is something that people come in, at least in the peroneal tendon, they come in with a common issue. Hey, I get this popping, it hurts. You can play with it. It's not the end of the world, but it does cause pain. It can hurt. So the question is going to be, how often is it popping out if it does pop out? And how much pain does it cause when it happens? I'm sure they're going to put him in a laced-up stirrup or something just to give us some compression, some stability. But it is not out of the question to try to finish the series and just kind of bear through it and see how he does.
Okay, Gio, Deshaun Watson threw it 7-7 in minicamp, but he's saying now it's about load management, and it's a process. You know, he's got injured in week 12, which is like late November. The MRI revealed a displaced fracture to the glenoid in his shoulder. But he's still in a load management situation. Does that sound like he's on pace to be okay?
I mean, he's 6-7 months out, so being in load management at this time, you know, in theory, you're healed. You can go back and play. I guess the question is, you know, being healed is one thing, and being game ready is a different story. It could be he has residual soreness. I mean, he had a big injury, right? So you can have residual soreness that just is never going to go away. Or he could be just ramping back up to get back to the level he was at, and until then, they're going to manage him, you know, load management. just so they don't overwork him in the beginning. So there's a couple things that can be going on there.
I'm looking at Luca for game 2. He's got a numbing shot in his chest, in his rib cage before game 2. Expected to play tonight. So I mean, what is that all about? I mean, what's the diagnosis of something like that?
I mean, he could have a rib contusion. I mean, we all saw what happened. I forget who it was, the Buffalo Bills quarterback who had it and then ended up with a dropped lung. But he could definitely have a rib contusion. You have underneath every single rib, there's a bunch of nerves that run underneath on the inferior portion of it. So if you have a rib contusion, it can cause severe pain in the ribs, and then that numbing shot like a lidocaine or a Marcaine, which is longer acting, can just kind of, you just numb it. You don't feel the pain anymore, and you have a bruise on your bone, in that area, and you don't feel it, and you keep going on your way. So that's most likely what happened. They didn't say anti-inflammatory shot, which makes me think it was a Toradol shot. They just said a numbing shot. So that, to me, sounds like a lidocaine or a Marcaine type injection.
All right, so Gio, his actual injury report prior to that game was chest, knee, and ankle. And the knee and ankle on the same leg.
And remember this now, what was it? Very early in game 1. Remember, we saw him waving to the bench to call, I need someone to come in, which is not Luka-like.
No.
And it did look like, I thought it was a core injury of some kind, Gio. And so, all of a sudden, you start to see a little wear and tear on the dad bod.
Yeah,
still averaging a triple-double, by the way, Gio. Just
he's still 30-some points.
I don't think it's a core injury type thing because, of course, more down in your lower abdominal area, and they're saying it's the ribs. And you're obviously, since you're a doctor, Joe, your ribs stop before your lower abdomen area. So, maybe he had a core injury separately, or maybe it looked like one. But and they mentioned chest before, so it sounds like he has a rib.
All right, a couple more for you, 641-1010. If you do have a sports injury question, we got a couple from last week that we want to get to you before we are done and make sure that we give them some intel. And, you're just talking about some of the big injuries that have taken place with Kristaps and with Luka. So both sides are definitely dealing with guys that may not be either available or at 100%. Now, this is a question we did on Breaking Bones Sunday morning, but this was from last week, so I want to get it in. Gio, if you could answer this one, this texter was told they needed a reverse shoulder surgery. Is there any other option, or is that your only option? Yeah. Anything that can be done to avoid that?
Yeah. So there's usually a couple reasons you have a reverse shoulder. One, you have a terrible fracture. That's number one. I'm assuming he doesn't have that. Number two, you have terrible arthritis. Or number three, you have no rotator cuff, and your shoulder is fine arthritis-wise, but because there's no rotator cuff, it's high riding. The shoulder now is riding high. If you're arthritic and you don't have a rotator cuff, the only thing you have left is a reverse shoulder replacement. If you have no arthritis and also no rotator cuff, there are some surgeries you can do. One is called a tuberoplasty, where they put kind of a cushion in between, and one is a balloon, where they put a balloon in between that can help the deficiency of the rotator cuff. They aren't great surgeries. I'm not going to lie. The results are kind of iffy, and they're not like a permanent solution where 10 years down the road you're fine. But if you're young, like in your 50s or early 60s, there are something that may give you a couple more years before you do a reverse shoulder replacement. So the easy answer is no. There's other things, but it really depends on what the diagnosis is on why he needs that.
All right, Big Money. Good stuff from you. If we have any more injury questions, you can hit them, 641-1010. We'll try and include them on Breaking Bones Sunday morning at 7:30. You can definitely check that out, and they can download the podcast too, right?
Yep, Apple, Google, Spotify.
All right, all you got to do is go to BariOrthopedics.com and check in with our man, Dr. George Bari. He can take care of you, that's for sure. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you Sunday morning.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, I should have asked him if, scrub-wise, where was he at? Camo,
full
scrubs.
Scrub.
Yeah. He's all about it. He's getting, by the way, we had some XLP fans that had a pinched nerve, and they went to his Orange Park office and got a shot, feeling much better. So plenty of offerings from Dr. George Bari. If you are hurting, he definitely can take care of you. All right, so they're taking care of us here at Lifetime Enclosures. There's no question about it. We've been hanging out in the beautiful back area of a lot of people's houses. You look out, you may only see grass. You may see whatever, just kind of a roughed up backyard. Well, you can take all that space and create your outdoor living experience with Lifetime Enclosures. They would love to see you Father's Day weekend. All you got to do is drop on by and take advantage of it, because they got plenty of fun things to check out. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Food, drinks, all sorts of discounts, and special gifts for Dad for Father's Day weekend. So stop on by either before we are done today. You can pick up a little gift. You can get registered for the Sam Hunt concert. It's right there at Daly's at the end of July. Or make sure you're here this weekend. Lifetime Enclosures on Phillips Highway.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL, where Jaguars football lives.
And Jacksonville is taking the lead.
Breathes. And roars. 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Make your outdoor living perfect with Art of Natural Stone. Pavers, patios, gravel, pool decks, and more. Using all natural stone design, and they do the installation. Visit Art of Natural Stone on Route 1 near Bartram Springs or on Beach Boulevard.
This is Dr. George Bari, inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics, and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Cataracts are the leading cause of vision loss in the United States and blindness worldwide. Hicken here for Bowden Associates. June is Cataract Awareness Month. Cataracts are a condition that causes the eye's lens to become cloudy, which can block or change the way light passes through the eye. Bowden Eye is here to take care of you or someone you know who are experiencing faded colors, intensified brightness to light, or poor night vision. Call or visit BowdenEye.com to schedule your consultation. Bowden Eye Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you looking for that perfect Father's Day gift? Look no further than Shooters this Thursday through Sunday, June 13th through the 16th. Shooters and Smith & Wesson are bringing you the largest Smith & Wesson sale of the year with the largest savings of the year. Click away with a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, very affordable, just $429. Save $70. The most popular small frame defense revolver on the market, the Airweight 38 Special, for only $469. Save $70. The hottest selling concealed carry pistol, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus 9mm, for only $399. You save $150. Get unmatched value with the new Smith & Wesson SD9 2.0 handgun for a low $279. Save $80. Shooters and Smith & Wesson Father's Day sale, the largest sale of the year, June 13th through the 16th at Shooters, 5085 University Boulevard West. See the full ad at shootersjacks.com. shootersjacks.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The summer's here, so let's talk about something sizzling. Making a Bacon 180 with a Waken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, or flexitarian. I'm not kidding, that's the thing, flexitarian. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker, and more than 21,000 others have. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Lewis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Lewis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. Right, so my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Lewis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Today, the Jaguars wrapped up the final day of mandatory minicamp. The Jags will now take about a 6-week break until they report for training camp on July 23rd. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson spoke this morning about his message to the team during their 6-week break.
The message is to continue to work out, continue to run, continue to review the information that we gave them this offseason, so that when they come back, they come back ready. They come back in shape. They come back mentally and physically, ready to go for training camp.
Doug Peterson this morning, courtesy of Jaguars.com. It's 89 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Having a good time hanging out. Lifetime Enclosures, that's where we are today. XL Primetime, second hour, taking till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Big Leon Searcy, Matt Hayes. You can check out his college offerings at Saturday Down South and all the other Saturday sites. Joe C., we appreciate you guys hanging out, listening, either watching on the stream, which is easy to find on YouTube, or listening as you're out and about. And if you're rolling up and down Phillips Highway, you can head on into Lifetime Enclosures. You got Lifetime Flooring right up against US 1, and then right behind that building is Lifetime Enclosures, and you can see what they can do for you when it comes to expanding your living space. They got it all going on, especially with Father's Day weekend. Big deal this weekend. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Food, drinks, discounts, special gifts for dads, all taking place here. If you start looking at those sunrooms and enclosures, they got $7,500 discounts. Definitely take advantage of that if you can. Now, we need to get into a little college ball, but I've decided that today's recruiting it's college football's version of the promposal. And the promposal is where you've got to come up with something really cool to ask a girl to prom anymore. Have you heard this, Leon?
I never went to prom.
You never went?
No, I got stood up.
Did you really?
Yeah,
there's a story. Let me hear this story.
I'm still emotionally damaged from that.
You got stood up.
I don't blame you. What happened?
The counselor. Well, listen, it was this young lady that virtually stalked for about a year.
I don't know if you can. I don't know that you can say that right now.
I'm gonna be. You want the story? You want the truth? And you want the. Yeah. You want another version. Yeah. And when I say stalk, I just followed her around. I was trying to muster up the courage to ask her out to prom, right?
A sweet young man.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I did. I mean, I wrote love letters, poetry, put it in a lock and everything.
Good for you, man.
Left flowers and everything. No response. So I finally get the courage to walk up to her and say, "Hey, listen, would you like to go to prom?" And she promptly said, "No, not with you."
Oh my gosh!
And this is when you were starring the football team.
Yeah, you know what? I thought this is what I thought.
Listen,
I thought that
Leon,
by playing football.
Pretend we're on the back porch.
I thought because I was playing football, and I got a scholarship to Miami. That was
She'd
enough.
Be interested, yeah.
Yeah, she absolutely is. Nah, shot me down. So I had to do
What was her name?
Her name was Sherelle. I remember. Because karma is a what.
I was just gonna say, please
Oh,
tell
okay.
me you saw her a few years later.
Of course I did.
Okay. And finish the story. Let's hear it.
So 5 years later,
He Toby Keith is what he
yeah.
did.
So 5 years
How do you
later,
like me now?
my rookie year in the league, right? I go to this beauty salon.
Yeah.
I was dating a young lady at that particular time. I came in there. I had the big body Benz. I was dressed fresh, smelled like $1 million. I walk in the beauty salon. Who jumps up out their seat in front of me? Sherelle. Hey, Leon, how you doing? You look amazing. Congratulations on making it to the NFL. Maybe we should go out sometime. I said
She did not say that.
I promise she did.
Yeah.
I said I would, but I said I'm here to pick up my date. I'm here to pick up my lady from the beauty salon.
Maybe we should go out sometime.
That's some good come up.
You know what that is? What's that one song by you know what I'm talking about? It's a FU song. It's called the FU song.
Oh, you talking about by CeeLo?
By CeeLo. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got it back.
RJ, if you can delete that and beep it out and play it, that'd be fantastic. It's
You
perfect
might be
for
able to
this.
find it. The promposals, though, they're just outrageous now. You got to come up with whatever you can to be better than you were a year ago and asking a woman out. Anyway, I believe that the recruiting world that we are in today in college football rivals promposals. Okay, I am looking at a video which Lane Kiffin had a field day retweeting. He said, just when I thought BK, referring to Brian Kelly, just when I thought Brian Kelly couldn't be beat. It's a video of Eli Drinkowitz superimposed. Playing guitar, trying to attract a recruit. Okay? And it's just crazy what these guys are willing to do to turn the head.
You don't know.
I love it.
You don't know if he doesn't have a guitar hero in his crib. He might be an air guitar player.
He might be an extra guitar player.
He might be,
I think
but
it's
they
awesome.
will go to no extent to get a recruit, though.
Yeah.
Listen,
I got to tell you, I'm still
I
shook
saw-
by Shorty Leon right now. I'm still shook by that.
Listen, I was watching it on Twitter earlier this morning.
Yeah.
Kevin Bird, who's one of the wide receivers coach at the University of Miami, right? He's got this wide receiver next to him. He's taking a picture with him and the kid do a backflip together in front of the camera. Your old behind going.
Don't try too many backflips.
Maybe you should have done a backflip for Sherelle.
Sherelle don't get nothing now.
Yeah, she had her chance. And
she had her chance.
So, by the way, speaking of recruiting,
she could have been number 1 or number 2.
She could have.
She had her chance.
I'm going to be shook by that the rest of the
blew
day
it.
too. By the way. So
Yeah.
speaking of recruiting, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So last year at this time, Billy Napier was working on a top 5 class. I think they were number 3 in the country last year. This time they had like 15 commits.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it starts to really ramp up in June and July, and you finish up pretty much in August. You've got your class, okay? Unless something happens during the season, then you start losing players, which is what happened. But at this point last year, Florida was on the verge of having like a top 5 class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Currently, your Florida Gators are 65th in the nation in recruiting.
Is that good?
15th out of 16 SEC teams.
Is that bad?
The only team worse is Mississippi State with a brand new coach.
Now, this is according to one guy's rankings.
No, it's 20. It's 247 Sports. It's a composite.
Whatever.
It's a. Look, once the facts are laid out in front of you, then it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's a composite of all the rankings, and they're 65th and 15th out of 16. That, my point is, that underscores the uncertainty right now there. That I think a lot of high school players have no idea what's going on.
I 100% agree with it.
That's the devil in the details of what's going on here with this whole situation at Florida.
And it can go down in a hurry. And once 1 or 2 come off of your list, decommit, do whatever, then others will follow. They'll listen. They'll watch. They'll be paying attention. Whoever their influencers are going to point out that, hey, not as many guys are this isn't a top 10 class, isn't even a top 25 class anymore, and it will end up working against you. SEC Mike was the one who shared it, which I told you is just a Gator hater, which I'm having fun laughing when I'm saying it, but at the same time, he's all LSU through and through, and so he's having a good time with it, and I don't blame him.
He's a Vol.
I don't blame him. This is what each school does. They attack the other one quietly, and they do whatever they can to work against them. But on the whole, you're looking at what was building up to be a very good class that has taken a nosedive.
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
Well, they had a top 3 class last year.
And then it went from what? Top 3 to 15.
To 16.
Yeah, so top 3 to just inside the top 20, and then now this one is nosediving even more, which is what you don't want, especially if you're in a now 16-team league and you're considered 15th best in 16 teams, and you are a blue blood in the conference.
Well, especially considering you got rid of the guy before him who had got you to 3 near 6 bowls in 4 years.
Yeah, but
you got rid of him because he couldn't recruit, right?
Yeah.
But then you look back at his recruiting classes that are, on average, better than Billy Napier's recruiting classes.
Yeah.
If you're going strictly by the numbers, strictly by the numbers, his classes are ranked higher than Billy Napier's.
And you trust recruiting analysts to rank them.
Wait a minute, a guy who didn't enjoy recruiting at all got better classes than a guy who
on average, yes.
On average.
Now, if you start talking about what guys actually panned out, then it's a little different. But how many guys from Billy Napier's classes have panned out so far?
And you want to know why he got, even though it was kind of maybe a suspect job recruiting, you want to know why he still did better? Because the product on the field was better. Okay, for the most part, until the end, when it unraveled, and that goes back to the product's the product. If you have a good product, kids will be paying attention and will be more inclined to want to go play in that uniform.
I mean, it's hard to argue with the dude had one bad season. It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his argument. His argument is, look what I did there.
Oh yeah. Well, he
now, granted, he got him on
himself.
probation for the first time in 30 years, which is a big deal, and that was a big deal to that former president Fox. A big deal.
Yeah, well,
so, and that was a big problem. And then the stuff he did during the pandemic season just crushed him.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things. And by the way, you tried to fire him, and now you're trying to fire the next guy. But
I didn't try to fire him. I was telling you what was going on there. That they was very upset about the NCAA stuff, which they were very upset.
Yeah, I know.
And that the whole when you run on the field at halftime against Missouri and you're trying to inside a whatever you want to call it, that's not good. And then after the game, you go dressed as Darth Vader. You can't do that stuff. I like Dan. I think Dan's a terrific coach. Yeah, but you can't do that stuff.
Yeah, those are kind of mild when you start adding everything up over the course of what we've seen in college football. And by the way,
well, it's mild when you start looking at 11 and 13 is what it's mild.
But does anybody know what NCAA infraction or how paralyzing it was that Dan Mullen did? No, the answer is no, because it didn't paralyze him in any way, shape, or form. It's ridiculous that the old president wants to use that as an excuse for how pissed off he was and he had to run him off.
Joe, they place themselves higher among others, okay?
Well,
they think they're better than others, okay?
Well, yeah, and it right now, academically, it's showing. Athletically, it's not showing.
No,
okay?
It's not.
That's for sure, because I just don't know that it hurt them that much, whatever it is that he was.
It didn't hurt them. I mean, he illegally had contact with a player when it was a dead period. That's what it was.
And it's very much
he knew it, and then he said he didn't know it.
Well, it's very much like what Jim Harbaugh
can't
did
do that stuff
up in Michigan. And you laugh off what Jim Harbaugh did up in Michigan.
Right, and I wasn't trying to get him fired last year, but I kept telling you the same thing. That's not good. And for universities like Florida and like Michigan, that stuff is not good because it transcends football at that point. Like, they're not happy about that.
And they still sat him down, and as long as he had enough good video, he could get his assistant
as long as he
coaches
beat Ohio State is what it was. Had they lost to Ohio State and not got to the playoff,
right,
Jimbo would have been, okay, go to the NFL. It wouldn't have been, I'm going to go to the NFL. It would have been, okay, time for you to go to the NFL.
And if Mullen had continued to win,
then
he would not have this problem.
Yes, if they were 9-3 that year instead of what were they, 6-6? He'd still be the coach.
Yeah,
100%.
And so, look, all I know is that it became disastrous at the end of McElwain. It was good for a while with Mullen, and then he just either became disenchanted or alienated people to the point where they said, okay, this isn't working. And now you're hoping, if you're a Gator fan, that Billy has the recipe to turn them back to good. And right now, it's Billy Napier. It doesn't look like it's working. You're going to find out. That's why I keep saying the DJ Lagway sweepstakes are as high as they've been. He will have to get on that football field to prove that he can be their future star and a chance to keep Billy employed. Honestly, I really, really believe that.
And I'm completely opposite. If he's going to keep his job, it's going to be because Mertz has a giant season.
Well, yeah, and look, he'll have to figure out a way to employ Lagway somehow in this offense, not necessarily benching Mertz and putting Lagway in out of panic early in the year, but incorporating him somehow infusing a little excitement into the offense somehow. Graham Mertz, sturdy, reliable, accurate, doesn't throw it away too often, but how dynamic is he? And that's really what it comes down to. That's where they'll be challenged.
I don't care about dynamic. It's just complete the second and third level throws. All I care about.
Okay, well, that is part of being dynamic.
Kyle Trask wasn't dynamic, but he complete second and third level throws.
Yeah, but they scored points then. Okay,
Yeah.
This team is struggling to score points.
No, that's what I'm saying. They've got 3 legit receivers now. They've got 2 legit running backs.
Yeah.
They say they have a much better offensive line. It's time to start throwing the ball now.
Right. They say.
Right.
We'll
I'm
see.
just laying it out for you, man.
Yeah.
You know, I hope it's not a plan, okay?
Right.
I'm just telling you, I'm laying out what they believe is there.
Well, I would like to believe that with all the patience that Gator Nation has displayed and shown and made dollar after dollar after dollar contributions to try and rescue the reptiles, that it will pay off. And I want to believe that, but you still have to see the product. And right now, the product doesn't look like it's going to be good enough. And heck, someone was tweeting it out again last night as far as the toughest schedule, maybe the toughest schedule that we've seen in a long, long time at the end of the year. It's crazy what Florida's going to have to get through, and who knows what their record will be before they get to that stretch, and then what will their record be after that stretch. Remember, Leon, that 5-game stretch when they get into November? They'll take on
Georgia. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. They got Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida State.
And right now, you're looking at all ranked teams if you're going to believe people's preseason lofty expectations.
What if I told you they're going to win at least 2 of those games?
That'd be great. But what's their record going into it, and who are the 2 that they win? If they pick off Georgia, obviously, job saver, game changer.
If they don't pick off Georgia, that would make them 5-2.
Yeah, if they beat Texas and LSU or beat LSU and Florida State,
6-1 maybe.
So
I think they're going to be better than what people think.
It depends
I'm
on.
on that train now. I'm now officially on that train.
You're off it. You're on it. You're off it. You're
no,
on
I was never.
You're like Leon's old prom date. Okay, you're there, then you're not. You're there, then you're not. I don't know what to believe from you right now.
I'm not mean as Sherelle, though, bro. I wouldn't do that to you. That was hardcore.
She cut me to the white meat.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all good.
All right. So, again, this is what it boils down to, is can you win when it matters most? Let's do the 10-10 take off of that, because we got a few other college football things I want to throw at you guys.
Now, Josie's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
You can definitely slide on by any one of your area Sonny's all over the First Coast, and they are serving it up. And you know what they will do for you is, if you're talking big group, you're talking dinner for 2, you're talking lunch, you're talking dinner, whatever it might be, they can take care of you, especially if you're getting hungry in the afternoon. You just want to pick up dinner on the go. Check out any one of your area Sonny's. So the one good thing about Billy is everyone has basically told him and the fan base that he's dealing with the impossible.
Right.
That this is the most difficult schedule God and college football has ever seen. And if he was to get on a little bit of a roll, win a few of those early ones, pick off and provide a surprise or 2 here or there, and then, as we just said, get to that gauntlet of games from Georgia on, end of October into December, and you've got a chance to have a respectable schedule, well, then all this, it's impossible, will pay off for him. They'll start to look at him differently. And that, honestly, is what it's going to take for him to keep that job and get an actual 4th year. I don't know how many of them he's going to win, but if he can go up against what everyone says is the toughest ever and have some success, they'll probably start to support him a little bit more. That's the 10-10 take.
Let me ask you this: Clemson and Miami, they similar?
Clemson's been a much better program of late, of course.
But as far as just this year, similar teams?
Yeah. Both
similar
of them,
difficulty, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, both of them have a chance. When we did our little forecast earlier, both of them had a chance to be in our top 12, our college football playoff.
But similar difficulty.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Georgia plays Clemson. Florida plays Miami. Georgia plays at Texas. Florida plays at Texas. Georgia plays at Alabama. Florida plays at Oklahoma. What's the tougher game, Alabama or Oklahoma?
I would say,
of course it's Alabama.
I would say Alabama.
Of course it's Alabama.
But
okay?
it's
hang on.
Sans
I'm not
Saban.
done yet. I'm not done yet.
Saban.
Right? Georgia's got to play Georgia Tech. Who's better, Georgia Tech or UCF?
UCF. Go, you Mighty Knights.
Yeah, I think I would take Georgia Tech there.
Oh, give me a break.
Georgia's got to play. Georgia's got to play at the program.
That's not going to be easy.
Georgia's got to play at Ole Miss. Florida gets Ole Miss at home.
Yeah, that's
Georgia's schedule is
tougher than it has been.
I would say it's as tough as Florida's schedule, but the difference is Georgia has the best talent in college football, so it's a lot easier to get through that schedule when you walk out on the field and you say, we're better than you, come get it.
Exactly, because roster-wise, most people, we talked about this with Denny yesterday, most people think Ohio State's got the best roster out there. Georgia ain't far behind.
Yeah, but the difference is in the mindset. I mean, Florida fans are saying we got to play them. Georgia's saying they got to play us.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That's
the truth. And by the way, you play Ole Miss there, hotty toddy, that ain't going to be easy. You get them on the road, it still ain't going to be easy.
They got to play at Alabama, at Texas, at Ole Miss.
Yeah. Good luck, Georgia. All right, we keep it rolling.
And they're still going to be 11-1 or 12-1.
Probably. Lifetime Enclosures is where we are hanging out. You can come here. You can talk some college ball. You can put your name in the hat for a Sam Hunt concert at Daly's. You can plan on being here over the weekend. Father's Day celebration. That's this Saturday from 10 a to 3 p with food, drinks, discounts, and you can definitely get a special gift for Dad. Just check it all out right here at Lifetime Enclosures. We will keep it going. Matter of fact, just staying in college football, and this will be a list that we will revisit over the handful of days leading up to college football, but a nice piece about not necessarily the best teams, not the greatest, but the ones that made the biggest influence on our game. Let's at least touch on that coming up here in a second on XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Hi, I'm William Byron.
And the Daytona 500 goes to William Byron.
1010XL, Jack Sports Radio.
Every season is Chevy truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Frank Frangie here, and there's no better time to do what you do best in a Chevy Silverado. At Nimnick Chevrolet, you save up to $12,000 off a brand new Silverado. Or well-qualified buyers can get rates as low as 1.9% financing on all new Silverado 1500 models. Nimnick Chevrolet. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Bolt City Heating and Air is here to keep you cool this summer. Anytime, any day, whenever you need fast, reliable air conditioning service. Their friendly technicians have fully stocked work vans, so they can get your AC done on site the same day. Rely on a family-owned Jacksonville-grown company this summer to keep your home cooling system working smarter, not harder. Experience the Bold difference. Visit BoldCityAC.com to schedule your service appointment. BoldCityAC.com.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. At my house, we had a feast from Mayport CNC Fisheries with the freshest shrimp around, and it was unbelievable. They also have oysters, scallops, mahi, and so much more. Want to eat like a local? Head to the beach and visit my friends at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
See the world through the eyes of a linebacker.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tom McManus joins Jaguars Today every Friday morning.
Period.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Prosser here, and if you are one of the ones that looks at your backyard area living space and thinks, wow, it needs an upgrade, Lifetime Enclosures is having a huge open house sale for Father's Day this Saturday, 10 to 3. Anything from glass or screen enclosures to full-on lanais and flooring, all in one place. The place you want to watch sports, enjoy your backyard, and just hang out could be so much better with Lifetime Enclosures. Come on out to Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring this Saturday from 10 to 3. You won't regret it.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Mia here. The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you never miss a shot to cash in on a play. You can even live stream and bet on the games right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide, cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sportsbook. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today and play with house money using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Attention real estate agents, loan officers, and mortgage professionals. Trust your real estate closings to the expertise of St. John's Title, LLC. As a board-certified attorney-owned and operated firm with years of experience, St. John's Title provides the utmost in precision and professionalism. With conveniently located offices and in-home remote closing options, our customer-first approach ensures a seamless process tailored to your timeline. Join our team of experts and 5-star testimonials from customers across the First Coast. Choose St. John's Title.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I've got some exciting news from Leonard Truck Outfitters and their new location on Beach Boulevard. Stocking brands like Real Truck, UWS, WeatherGuard, Carry-On Trailers, and much more. Grand opening celebration June 28th, starting at noon with tons of special promotions and giveaways like a brand new golf cart.
Kick it here with Zero Res. If you're like me, you like to sit on the sofa and recliners and watch a good game or show. You know, unwind down from the day. But sometimes TV time means food, drink, and a mess as well. That's why you need to have the Zero Res truck out and get that furniture looking great again. All of June, Zero Res offering 25% off all upholstery cleaning, 25% off a sectional, off a sofa, 25% off a love seat, 25% off your favorite recliner. Zero Res, man, you spell it forwards, you spell it backwards. Zero Res, it's the right way to clean.
Beards Diamond's incredible 0% financing is back.
Shop the biggest inventory in North Florida
and get 0% financing store-wide for 5 years on anything and everything.
In the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
We are hanging out, having a good time. Lifetime Enclosures. Rolling till 4 this afternoon.
Turn it up, RJ. Come on.
Getting it going.
Yeah, I can just see little shorty Leon. Not happy right now.
Yeah, you know, this song is long overdue.
You know, he was on, if you go on YouTube, he was on, Daryl Hall has Daryl's House.
Yeah.
Where he invites other singers on. He sings their song and they sing his song. And he and Daryl sing this song. It's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, really good.
Okay.
Really good.
I needed this song in '87.
You did.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, so let's stay in the college world. We were talking really about Florida and kind of the referendum on Billy Napier, or Billy Nopier, as we like to refer to him from time to time on XL Primetime. So let's keep it going in the college game. Then we'll sneak some NFL chatter back in before we are done. Lifetime Enclosures, you can drop on by, sign up for some Sam Hunt concert tickets. He'll be at Daly's at the end of July. That's on the house from Lifetime Enclosures. They'll have that registration going through the weekend, and you can be here over the weekend with great discounts on outdoor living. The enclosures like the sunrooms, the glass enclosures, $7,500 off. $5,000 off vinyl enclosures, $3,000 off screen enclosures. You can definitely take advantage of the lanai conversions. You name it, they can help you with it here at Lifetime Enclosures. That's for sure. So this is a piece that Bill Connelly did for ESPN. He's pretty solid when it comes to making you think and go back in time. And he said the greatest teams don't always make the greatest impact. So he was looking at teams that were the most influential throughout the course of college football. And, you know, you can go back in time. We're not going to go all the way back to some of these that he mentioned, the Swannies of the world in the late 1800s. We're not going to do that. But when you start taking a look at some of the other ones that have had an impact on college football, one that jumped out at me was Michael Vick in the 99 Virginia Tech Hokies. You start thinking about what he was able to do, and he wasn't alone, okay? But he was one dynamic cat. And when he made it, Virginia Tech and Michael Vick, all the way to the national championship, you can't ignore what he did from a position point of view, from a, what would you call them? They were part of the Big East for a long time with you guys.
They certainly weren't a blue blood.
There you go.
I think what he did as a player, I think, was more impactful.
Yes.
The dual threat quarterback. He became, Tommy Frazier, I guess, could have been like the original dual threat, but they didn't throw the ball that much.
Yeah.
Whereas Michael Vick, literally, they began to throw the ball. And I think he kind of opened up the idea of the dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he was box office, because if I can remember, I mean, Major Harris, he was a dual threat
another guy,
Those type of guys.
But none of them threw as much as Vic.
No, exactly.
Or had the talent as a thrower as them.
Vic just had this uniqueness about him. I mean, the speed, the being left-handed, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, he was special. He definitely made you want to watch.
Like FSU crushed them in that championship game.
They had no chance.
And all you can remember in that championship game is two people: Peter Warwick and Michael Vick.
But the other part of it, I think, that he's putting together is them on the whole. It was Frank Beamer. It was are we ever going to be able to have a shot at a national championship? An outsider when you looked at the Blue Bloods that we just referred to. And they were one of the teams that finally ran the table and had this dynamic star at the most important position. And he did, Michael Vick, obviously become the box star, the marquee that Big Searcy is referring to. But it's the combination of what Frank Beamer was able to do, little old Blacksburg. You didn't expect it to come from them, and they were able to put it together. Didn't get it done, but what a great story.
Yeah,
that's for sure. They mentioned Bill Connelly mentions Auburn in 2013, and the reason why he mentions them is Gus Malzahn's Tigers is the way he described it. That he gives Malzahn credit.
Wait, it was Cam Newton's Tigers.
Yeah, well, of course, but this is
2010.
Yeah, this is 2013. Yeah, this is 2013.
Yeah, I don't know that. I didn't put them anywhere near there.
Because Malzahn went from, this is Ryder versus Ryder. I can see it in his head right now. This was Malzahn rising from the offensive coordinator when Cam Newton had that run, which was a great run. It really, really was. But he's giving Malzahn a little bit of credit for the spread influence. Now, if you go back in time, you might think Herb deserves a little credit for spread influence.
No, really, the guy that brought it was Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah. If you go back to Rich Rod, and you can go back to his early days, Tulane.
Yes, Herb credits Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah,
believe me, Rich Rod is the guy.
Yeah, and you can go back, and so basically the way he put it together was that from Cam Newton's brilliance in 2010, when he was the OC, comes back as the head coach, leads them to the BCS championship game against Florida State, and basically put together a great run. And so his approach is influence, memorable, great runs, as opposed, because they didn't win the championship. You know, they were close, but they didn't get it done.
No, I would have picked the 2010 team not only because of Cam, the greatest season in the history of college football, but he was so good. Like they could be any of these championship teams that we've seen in the last 30 years. They could beat.
They were really good.
He was that good, and he made that defense play so much better than they were, because they all, we talk about this all the time, Leon. When you've got a dude that's so good, everybody else rises. Their game hits the ceiling. They reach their ceiling for that year, that game, whatever, that specific stretch of games, and that's what I think the way he played, the way they played that year, it was unbelievable. That team.
They were
just phenomenal.
Yeah, and you start thinking about there were 2 or 3 Auburn Tigers teams that were just loaded with talent. And you can go back to the Jason Campbell-led team.
Like team to team. The 04 team was more talented. The 2013 team was more talented. But the one dude on 2010, man.
And he did it all. By the way, I think they were trailing 21-0 Alabama that year.
They were.
And came
on
back.
the road.
Yeah, crazy. He also mentions Boise State in 2006 when Chris Peterson's club went 13-0. And you go back and look at that Boise State and their run on the blue turf. They had gone from 2002 to 2004, 36-3. So you might acknowledge them as maybe like Virginia Tech was on a certain level. They weren't in a big conference at that time. You know when they made the run.
It was still a power conference. It's still a BCS conference.
Yeah, exactly, because it was the Big East and all that. I totally get it. But then you went from basically they weren't in the conversation, and then they made themselves part of the conversation, and then you go to Boise State,
which is
complete and total outsider. And started to do what they were able to do.
13, 15 years earlier, they weren't even Division I.
Yeah.
So that was that and the way that game ended. You know, the hook and lateral was just phenomenal.
Yeah. So some really good ones when you start thinking about it. And they were just
and
basically
the Statue of Liberty. Forgot about the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, with and the proposal and everything that came after that.
Right.
But there's some other good ones that we will get to. They're just starting this list. Bill Connolly, like I said, I think a very, very good researcher and writer and so on and so forth, and that's like their 30 down to 20 list. Virginia Tech was 20th, so we'll keep an eye on that one. You got numbers you want to throw at us?
So Dov, what's his name? Dov Kleiman. He's the NFL guy, right? Dov Kleiman.
Yeah, give Dov some love, man.
We'll give Dov some love right now. So he came up with this since 2020. Every NFL team's average betting line. So in other words, over the course of X amount of games, the Chiefs' average betting line was X. Okay? So who do you think had the best betting line? In other words, who gave the most points, I guess is the best way to say it.
Well, and you're talking about a period, is that 4 seasons, 4 full seasons?
Yep.
So you got to think of, honestly, you would think the Chiefs would be the most obvious because they've won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years' time.
Yeah, 3 and 5.
Right? Is that right? 3 and 5 years?
Or 3 and 4.
No, 5.
No, 3 and 5.
Yeah, yeah. And so you would think that would make the most sense. San Francisco certainly would make some sense too because they were in the. I'll give
you that. Chiefs are 1.
Okay.
7.
7 points on average.
On average, giving up 7 points a game. 7 in the NFL.
Wow. In a field goal league.
And there's one team that's close to him.
Is it Frisco? Is it not Frisco?
Nope, it's not Frisco.
Dallas.
Nope.
Detroit.
Nope.
Was it Tampa when they were?
Buffalo.
No, it's an average over the 4 years.
Yeah, over the 4 years. I'm just trying to think. When Tampa and Tommy were.
If you think a little bit hard, you'll get it.
We're rolling. That were close
Ravens.
to.
No.
Bills.
I said, okay, Bills.
Bills were 6. Bills were laying 6 on the average.
On the average for over a 4-season run.
All right, of the 32 teams, none were laying 5. 2 teams were laying 4 on the average.
Cowboys were heavily bet, and they won a bunch of games.
Negative.
Philly.
Negative.
Any of the teams we mentioned?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then you'd go back and you think of the Ravens.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Ravens are 1.
Yeah.
The other one is?
Niners.
The Niners.
Yeah.
All right. The teams laying 3 were the Bucks, Packers, Eagles, and Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
The teams laying 2 were the Rams. The teams laying 1 were the Saints, Dolphins, Chargers, Browns, Colts, and Colts is interesting, and Seahawks. You got 5 teams.
Seahawks were good for a while.
5 teams were pushing.
Yeah.
Vikings, Steelers, Patriots, Titans, and Bengals. 1 team was all the way down, getting 6 every game.
Jacksonville.
Nope.
Duval.
Nope.
Getting 6. You're saying butt bottom?
Yep, butt bottom, getting 6. 1.
Panthers.
Nope.
Wow.
Arizona.
You know, it's funny. We always forget about this team when we think about the worst teams in the league.
Arizona, Carolina.
Nope.
They've been butt bad.
Jets.
Chicago, the Jets, of course.
Jets got 6.
Okay.
There were 2 teams getting 5, the Texans and the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
2 teams getting 4, the Panthers and the Bears.
Yeah.
2 teams getting 3, the Washington football team.
Forgot about them. Yeah.
And the Jags.
I was close to, okay. So they were good.
And then
so
4 teams getting 2 were the Raiders, Falcons, Broncos, and Lions.
Right.
1 team getting 1 was the Cardinals.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, I was thinking the Cardinals would be a little further down than that, actually. But they did make it to the postseason one year with Kyler Murray before he got hurt, so there's no reason to think that they weren't
if you look
that bad that often.
Like, if you look at the betting lines, okay, like look at the top 6 teams that were laying points.
Right.
Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Ravens, Bucks are the outlier, and Packers.
All right.
All right, you look at the 6 worst that were getting points.
Mm-hmm.
Jets, Texans, Giants, Panthers, Bears, and then the Jags and the Washington football team.
They were catching a field goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so they got to turn that around. At the very least, Jacksonville, over the 4 seasons that we're talking about, they had 2 winners, and then 2 losers. So they went from
the 2 god-awful losers.
Yeah, but
which
bad.
Kind of probably skewed it a little bit.
Yeah, but bad. to 1 playoff performance and 2 9-win seasons, that's for sure. All right, we'll keep it rolling. We're going to wrap up our show. We'll get back to a couple thoughts in the NFL world and a little college ball before we are done. Don't forget, Lifetime Enclosures, they got everything going on here with their big Father's Day weekend coming up. You can drop on by, sign up for some Sam Hunt concert tickets. They will give those away over the weekend. But here's the other part, Lifetime Flooring, which is where the building in front closest to Phillips Highway. So if you've got a sunroom or a screen enclosure and it needs a facelift or an update, Lifetime Flooring can help you with that. They actually will come in, take a look at that part of it. They got your home already figured out with all the flooring that you need, but they can specialize in flooring options for your outdoor space as well. So make sure you check that out from Lifetime Flooring and Lifetime Enclosures. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Jags. Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. One-on-one interviews with players, practice footage, podcasts, and more. If you're looking for the best Big Cat coverage around, look no further. 1010XL Jaguars on YouTube.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Are you looking for that perfect Father's Day gift? Look no further than Shooters this Thursday through Sunday, June 13th through the 16th. Shooters and Smith & Wesson are bringing you the largest Smith & Wesson sale of the year with the largest savings of the year. Click away with a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, very affordable, just $429. Save $70. The most popular small frame defense revolver on the market, the Airweight 38 Special, for only $469. Save $70. The hottest selling concealed carry pistol, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus 9mm, for only $399. You save $150. Get unmatched value with the new Smith & Wesson SD9 2.0 handgun for a low $279. Save $80. Shooters and Smith & Wesson Father's Day sale, the largest sale of the year, June 13th through the 16th at Shooters, 5085 University Boulevard West. See the full ad at shootersjacks.com. ShootersJacks.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Imagine a majestic cut of beef that commands attention the moment it arrives at your table. At Southern Steer, now through Father's Day, get your tomahawk steaks for $24.99 a pound.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Roland Reese Plumbing, one of the great stories for me because I needed them and they were there. And that's how simple it is. A plumber, you call them when you got a leak and you can't wait a week. Roland Reese came through. My water heater was just on bust, and it was leaking out, and he said, don't worry about it. We've got what it's going to take to get there stat. They were in there within a day's time, replaced a big old water heater, made sure I had warm water. I wasn't taking any cold showers. They can do it for you as well. 24/7 emergency service available where quality and experience count. Remember, log on plumbingjacksonville.com and check out Roland Reese Plumbing.
I have done in my career literally thousands of joint replacements.
Meet Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, National Medical Director at QC Kinetics, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon who now advises patients try all they can do to avoid the knife and consider regenerative medicine.
I myself was able to continue skiing for 10 years after my knees started to be a problem because I accessed regenerative medicine.
Now, after 20 years of study, research, teaching, publications, and clinical experience, Dr. Scheinkup is regarded as one of America's true pioneers.
This is the future of medicine.
Dr. Scheinkup came to QC Kinetics after seeing what they were doing around the country, helping tens of thousands of patients get lasting relief from joint pain with no surgery and no drugs.
QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 12, 1991, in the NBA Finals, the Chicago Bulls beat the LA Lakers in Game 5 for their first of 3 straight titles. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home all week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is ViStar Goodies Everywhere Wednesday, featuring Catholic charities, plus bring your dog courtesy of Forever Vets. Tomorrow is Coors Light Thirsty Thursday and Pride Night. Then it's Red Shirt Friday with fireworks, and the first 2,000 fans on Saturday get a Red Caps hat, plus more fireworks. Baseball all weekend. JackShrimp.com for tickets.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Your Jaguars game day, your way. Whether you want to see a division rival like the Titans, an NFC North opponent like the Packers, or a mix, deciding on your favorite matchups has never been easier with Bundle at the Bank.
Touchdown, Travis Etienne!
Get tickets to 3 or more games starting at just $58 per game. It's as easy as pick, pay, and play. But seats are selling fast, so visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. Right, so my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
We're having a great time today. We say thanks to everybody that has dropped by to say, hey, Lifetime Enclosures right here on Phillips Highway. We'll give you all the details before we are done with their Father's Day celebration, but you definitely have it going on this Saturday. Now, we've been hanging out, and we haven't brought up Joey Chestnut, at least the latest, because we've been talking about promposals, Leon's rejection, a little bit of NFL and some college football. But at least according to TMZ, this was last night, is that Major League Eating is hoping to resolve Joey Chestnut's issue before the July 4th contest, which, Matt, at least threw out a possibility. I love it. That is worth a round of applause. Because you're talking about a vegan not dog trying to come at the Coney Island and the beef eaters of America and beyond on the nation's holiday.
I'm always trying to look underneath stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
conspiracy us, man.
It's not conspiracy. It's just the reporter in me. I think it's I think what this is Nathan's and Joey are kind of teaming up a little bit, and Joey's saying I'm gonna sign with this vegan place, and then what better ad for Nathan's is, days before this event they say the guy who said he wanted the vegan dog, no, he wants a real dog.
Yeah, no more not dogs.
He wants a real dog.
Yeah,
and you know what's gonna happen?
And we got a beef with you, vegan.
This stuff happens, just magically Dan Hurley decides he's not going to take $70 million. He's going to go stay at UConn. When that just magically came out of the air right during the NBA playoffs, when the ratings for the NBA playoffs were sagging, just magically happened.
You know what I thought? You know what I thought of at that point? I said the Lakers are trying to swoop in and steal the Celtics' shine, and that's why they decided to make that offer right about the time the NBA Finals was starting.
Trying to distract them a little bit.
Yeah. Right. Put the Lakers on the headline instead of the Boston Celtics. Put them in the sub headline. But back to Joey Chestnut. What if he's playing the vegans so he can get a better deal to show up to Coney Island?
Yeah, I would. Why wouldn't you? I mean, the more Matt says, it looks like it's a stage promotion.
And you said NIL to begin with.
NIL all day.
I will say this.
He's playing both sides.
I will say this. I'm reading a book on Area 51 right now.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with UFOs. Area 51 was literally a place where the government was building different ways to fight wars, built different bombs and stuff, and didn't want the public to know about it. So they concocted this idea of UFOs. So everybody thought it was just UFO. Meanwhile, they're building weapons of mass destruction that they didn't want anybody to know they were building and testing.
Yeah, that's where old Oppenheimer was operating.
It's amazing when you think about it, like what happens and what's sold and what people believe.
Yeah. Out there, Area 51 and Oak Ridge up there in Tennessee.
Yes.
Which is some fascinating stuff. The son-in-law's grandfather did a bunch of stuff.
That's a nice place, too.
Yeah, a bunch of work up there. And so he definitely was one of the guys that, I won't call him a mad scientist, but he was one of the guys that was involved with some of the secrets, the national security secrets up there. But back to the beef, man, okay? We can't have non-beef lovers trying to infiltrate America's holiday.
I want real meat.
That's right.
He essentially now has to do it till he dies, Joey Chestnut, or it's just not the same event, right?
Yeah. If you think about what he did,
I don't want him to die.
No,
I hope he goes for another 40 years. I'm just saying that's who he is now.
At what point does he retire? Gives up the game.
He almost can't, right?
He can't. What do you
like
mean
70-year-old Joey Chestnut, because people are going to be saying, "Well, let's see what do you got for me now, man."
And by the way, remember, he dropped all those LBs too, and he still can crank. And I don't know how he does it, because there's a bunch of the slight people, they're not overweight or anything like that, just knocking down
What's Kobayashi,
dogs.
like 120
Yeah,
pounds
130 pounds, something like that, which is just nuts. But anyway, that we had to get in there. I don't know what it had to do with anything, but we had to get it in there because, look, it was a big part of our show yesterday. It came down, and I think it rocked America. That Joey Chestnut was not going to show up to Coney Island.
It's that and RJ turning down a stack for,
Yeah. RJ, you had your chance, man. Now here's your chance to do this.
He didn't sleep well.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaways. We're about 5 weeks away now from camp starting. The minicamp ended today. We're about 5 weeks away from seeing what you got here.
Yeah.
And how it's going to unfold.
All right, my takeaway is, I was going to go Sherelle.
Don't do that, man. I'm like already shaken by it.
No, I'm not going to go there. No, my take is like Matt's talking about. We were talking about what are we most looking forward to this season? What grouping is going to stand out? And I'm going to stick with the D tackles. I was thoroughly impressed by the way they played all OTAs and minicamps. So the defensive tackle interiorly, I think, is going to be the shining point of the defense.
It about to get real in 5 weeks.
Oh yeah,
fans going to be allowed in.
Oh yeah,
the pads going to go on. It's going to get real.
Yeah, the Mecca's going to be going crazy. And my takeaway, this is probably one of the last times we'll be able to talk about what we just saw. The end of OTAs and the offseason minicamp is over, and they'll be gone for a while. Is that they? I never buy into this whole BS of bigger, faster, stronger. But they look bigger, faster, stronger, okay? They really do. They look like they're a deeper team. I'll add that ER to the other ERs because it does look like they're a deeper team, which is going to lead and lend itself to competition. And that's going to make this team better. Jobs are on the line. It's not, what did you always say, the Jaguar lifeline? No more, okay? And it's not just Jaguar good. I think the competition is going to be ramped up. That's the part that I like more than anything else. All right,
Plus,
real quick.
it'll be July, which is key for you.
Oh, you better believe it. We get to, I'll be so fired up. I am fired up for tomorrow. Real quick, we haven't talked about the U.S. Open hardly at all.
Right.
And I did my breakdown, and I don't know who to pick. I'm in several pools where you pick from.
Not surprising.
I know. Where you pick from a pack at the top, and then you just try and graduate down, and you pick guys that you think will shine out of each pool or a pack of players. And there are a couple of guys, like, I feel like Pinehurst, first off, is an old school golf course, raised greens, a lot of native areas. I love when someone says you can't lose a golf ball at Pinehurst because there's hardly any out of bounds.
Right.
It's nothing but native area, and there's hardly any water, any forced carries, and you're just going to have to hit it, go find it, and deal with it. But it's that second shot into these greens. It's getting them close to the pins. There's going to be speed to these greens. And so that second shot guy, Tommy Fleetwood, has never won on the PGA Tour. He's been close a couple of times. You had Wyndham Clark as an 80-1 long shot last year. So I started looking at guys like Finau, Thigala, Fleetwood. Now a guy that has won a couple of majors but hasn't necessarily been able to put it together since January is Colin Morikawa. So we had Xander come, basically be the best player on the planet and finally win it, but without a major, finally win it. Morikawa already has 2, but he's still good enough to win another one. So I put a handful of those guys up there as potentials. Of course, they're all going up against Scotty.
I love that soliloquy.
They're all going up against Scotty.
I'm going with Scotty.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're only going to get 4-1 off of him.
That's right.
As opposed to 80-1. But look, he is – I told you guys, he's operating – at a clip that few have.
Yeah.
So give him credit, enjoy it, but I don't know whether he can keep it up. Tiger-like. All right, we're done. We say thanks to Lifetime Enclosures. Don't forget, Father's Day weekend. You want to take care of Pops, you want to find something really cool for him to enjoy, well, enjoy the outdoors with that cool air inside. Lifetime Enclosures can do it for you. They'll show you everything. They're right here on Phillips Highway, along with Lifetime Flooring. You can redo some of your current existing outdoor areas or get that brand new one. Just check it all out. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Food, giveaways, discounts, all kinds of stuff. This Saturday right here at Lifetime Enclosures. We had a great time. We are done. Thanks to Casey for engineering us here, RJ for taking care of us back there, Joe C, Big Searcy, Matty Hayes. We will talk to you manana.